There is a strange, quiet feeling many people carry today, but rarely talk about. You open your phone, you scroll, you watch arguments, trends, outrage, and perfection flash by in seconds. And then a thought slips in, uninvited but honest. This world doesn't feel like home. If you grew up before social media existed, that feeling is not nostalgia. It is psychology. People who grew up before social media were shaped by a completely different mental environment. Their brains learned connection, identity, and meaning without constant comparison, performance, or surveillance, and that difference still shows every single day. Before social media, life happened offline first. Memories were not curated. Moments were not paused to be posted. Mistakes were not permanently archived. You could be awkward, wrong, or unsure, and then grow out of it without an audience watching. Psychologically, this created a powerful foundation, a private self. People from that era learned who they were without needing validation from strangers. Their sense of identity formed internally, not algorithmically. Approval came from real conversations, facial expressions, tone of voice, not likes, shares, or follower counts. This is why many of them struggle with modern digital culture. Not because they cannot adapt, but because something feels fundamentally off. One of the biggest psychological differences is attention. Before social media, attention had fewer interruptions. Boredom existed, and boredom did something important. It forced imagination, reflection, and patience. People learned how to sit with their thoughts, to daydream, to process emotions slowly. Today's constant stimulation trains the brain to seek novelty every few seconds. But people who grew up before social media still carry an older rhythm inside them. They prefer depth over speed, one meaningful conversation over dozens of shallow interactions. That is why many of them feel mentally exhausted by modern platforms. Their brains were not wired for endless input. They were wired for presence. Another key trait is how they experience relationships. Before social media, friendships required effort. If you lost touch, it was often permanent. If you argued, you had to resolve it face to face. Silence meant something. Distance meant something. This created a deeper respect for human connection. People learned how to read body language, sense emotional shifts, and handle uncomfortable conversations. Psychologically, this made relationships feel real, not disposable. In contrast, modern social media makes connection abundant but fragile. People are always available and easily replaced. For those who grew up before this shift, the casual nature of modern relationships can feel empty, even unsettling. They do not miss the technology. They miss the weight of connection. People who grew up before social media also developed a healthier relationship with self-worth. Their value was not measured daily. There were no public metrics attached to their thoughts, photos, or opinions. Success and failure happened privately. Confidence grew slowly, through competence, not performance. As a result, many of them are less obsessed with external validation. They may still use social platforms, but they do not live inside them. They do not feel the same urgency to broadcast every moment. Psychologically, this creates a quiet strength, a sense of self that does not collapse when ignored. That is also why they are often misunderstood. To younger generations, they may seem distant, old-fashioned, too quiet, too slow. But in reality, they are operating from a different psychological framework, one that values meaning over visibility. They are more comfortable being unseen. They are more selective with attention. They are less impressed by trends and more drawn to substance. This does not mean they are better. It means they are different. Another major difference is how they process time and memory. Before social media, memories lived in the mind, not in feeds. You remembered moments because they mattered, not because they were documented. Photographs were rare and intentional. Psychologically, this made memories feel warmer and more personal. They belonged to you, not to an audience. Today, constant recording can actually weaken emotional presence. When everything is captured, little is fully experienced. People who grew up before social media often sense this loss deeply, even if they cannot fully explain it. They remember when moments were allowed to end. There is also a deep emotional resilience in people from this era. They grew up without constant emotional comparison. They did not see everyone else's highlight reel every day. Their failures felt personal, not public. This taught them how to recover quietly, to rebuild without announcing it, to struggle without performing pain. In a world where vulnerability is often monetized, this quiet resilience stands out. Yet this generation carries a hidden burden. They live between two worlds. They remember life before digital overload, but must survive within it. This creates a subtle grief, not loud, not dramatic, just a constant sense of disconnection, a feeling that the pace is wrong, that something essential was traded for convenience. And still, they adapt. They learn the tools, they participate, they scroll, but deep down they long for slowness, for privacy, for conversations that are not interrupted by notifications. If you grew up before social media and feel out of place today, there is nothing wrong with you. Your mind was shaped in a quieter world, a world that valued presence over performance, depth over speed, privacy over exposure. And in a time obsessed with noise, that psychology is not outdated. It is rare and perhaps more needed than ever.